Yeah, well, influencer marketing is really being turned on its head right now. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with all the latest articles, but one of the ones came out from the Business of Fashion the other day about, is the golden age of Instagram over, right? And everyone's like, what does that mean for influencers? What does that mean for this? Well, here's what it comes down to, right? The people who are doing influencer marketing right from the beginning will continue to do it right as it moves forward. And that means finding the right partners. That means being able to find real brand ambassadors who are authentically integrated into your brand values. Gen Z smells if what you're doing is inauthentic, right? So the kind of that opportunity of saying, hey, I have this big budget, I'm gonna go ahead and distribute it amongst X number of influencers and hope that I see a $6 ROI for every dollar spent isn't gonna work without having the strategy be custom built for your brand and what you stand for. So I would say, the trend of working with influencers is moving more and more towards product collaborations. So that means not just using them to wear your product, but actually involving them in the entire supply chain lifecycle design process, right, of it. And then also making sure that these are authentic partnerships that last for a long time. Again, no longer do we have these one-hit wonder opportunities that have the same results.
Yeah, I think we tend to see where the influencers and the brand ambassador are starting to merge into one. So it's the authenticity, factor that plays into the relationship and sustaining a relationship with the influencer for the longevity of the campaign life cycle, if you will. The one-hit wonder stuff, that was, we've all seen it. We could name drop, you all know those big names out there that wearing the shades, wearing the brands that but at the end of the day, it's really, can you sustain that influencer ambassador across the campaign lifecycle to really promote the authenticity of the brand?
I've been talking to a lot of people about when they start, of course, for years, how they start their own business. And I always recommend that you have some chosen charity that you can maybe give a donation on each sale that you make. This is also cross-marketing opportunities. It might sound mercenary, but it's true. So what do you recommend about that type of marketing?
So H&M just recently got in trouble for greenwashing, right? So they said, hey, we stand for all these great values, but guess what? Ha ha ha, we actually don't, right? And they got found out. And so I think just to hark back to this Gen Z and kind of younger millennial, yes, giving money back to a charity is good. Even better is actually having your company or yourself volunteer at the charity for the day and do the labor and pick up the shovel and do the work, because nowadays having a give back principle is something that is almost expected from our new generation of consumers, right? If you're not focused on something that is either along the lines of environmentalism or a charity, sustainability, if you're not looking at ways in which you're maybe impacting the resale market, right, or other opportunities of upcycling, recycling, you're simply just not thinking strategically enough about maintaining or having a new customer base that's growing up right now. Gen Z is between 4 and 24 years old, right? After that is Gen Alpha, right? It's like we're becoming more and more in bed, right, with these customers. So yes, I think charity components are really important, but I think even more than that is, what do you stand for, and how can your products be a reflection of that? And of course, leveraging that, cross-marketing, all of that is an added benefit, but guess what? It's not new anymore, right? Everyone's doing it. So how do you do it better? You make it authentic, you make it stand for your brand values as well. From my perspective is, each and every one of you all come today with different stories of who you are, different stories of what your business looks like, different stories of what your dreams and your goals are. How dare we sit down and compare all of us to each other and say, hey, we're all gonna take the same approach to our businesses, right? How you approach your business is just as unique as how you've lived your life. And I think it's very important that as you look at your goals and your future of how you want to scale your business, 10x, 20x, you want to hit 10 million in the next 5 years, the tools and the steps and the financial resources and investments that you will need to make are going to be very different from the person sitting next to you who says, hey, I love running my business on my own, and my goal is to hit $250,000 next year. Right? So as you walk away from this conversation, yes, you need to be on digital, you need to be on social, you need to be on these things that we're talking about, but the mechanisms and the ways in which you are on those platforms need to be as unique to your business as you are to each other.